I would like to welcome everyone who is dialing in live and also people who will be watching this as a recording afterwards to this webinar on project management leadership, how to improve your performance and your well-being. I'm really excited to be presenting to you today because I'm going to share some very powerful strategies with you for how you can avoid the stresses on your projects, how you can avoid the unhappy clients and project failure, and instead use a project you're currently working on to propel yourselves to the next level. And the next level may be individual to each of you. It may mean that you would like to get a promotion, or that you are overdue a pay rise, or it may be that you would like a better work-life balance, or also that you would like to simply be able to choose which projects you do or do not want to work on. So that's really my aim. My aim for you is to get to the next level of your project management career. And I think that's a pretty good goal to have for you, but I actually want even more than that. I want for you to become excellent project management leaders, but I want that without you having to work even longer hours. In fact, I would like, preferably, I would like for you to work less hours, because as a project manager, I know that we put in a lot of effort and a lot of effort in the office. So really, this is all about working smarter rather than harder, and that's really where project leadership comes in. So having said that, I hope that you are ready with pen and paper, every single one of you, and that you're ready to take lots of notes. And that's actually a very important point, because I'm not here just to share knowledge with you. I mean, knowledge may be where we start, but it's really for you, it's really about implementing this knowledge. You don't become better at your job. You don't advance by listening to things and by knowing more. Things will happen for you when you take action. So in today's webinar, I'm going to encourage all of you to take lots of notes and to take action on the things that you learn. So please be prepared for me to encourage you on taking action as we move along. Now, Michael introduced me before, so I'm not actually going to go through the formalities again. You will know that I have about 15 years of project and program management experience. But I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about the area where I am potentially a little bit different from other speakers in this area, and where I am a little bit different from other program and project managers. And that's really because I'm a qualified corporate and executive coach as well. And I'm going to talk you through how that came about so that you understand my whole angle into project management and why leadership is such an important area that I feel passionate about sharing. And in order for me to convey how that all happened, I'm going to go back in time about 4 years. And about 4 years ago, I was running a very large project of work, and we were about 50 people on that project. And as the project manager, I was really quite overworked, to put it mildly. I worked very long hours. I felt that the entire weight of this project was on my shoulders. And I really actually was micromanaging people. I probably didn't know it at the time, but now it's becoming very clear to me that that was what I was doing. I felt that nothing was happening if I wasn't on top of every single detail. And of course, that took a toll on me. I was getting quite exhausted. And just to illustrate it for you, you know, going for lunch was not something I ever had time for. And I would often come home on a Friday night and just cry. Not because anything was wrong, just because I was exhausted. All energy had literally been squeezed out of me during the day. So around about the same time, I attended a leadership course. It was a 5-day off-site course, which my employer paid for. And the reason why I mentioned this to you is because as part of that course, we were being assigned a coach. And so I was being coached during these 5 days. And in fact, one coaching session had such an immense impact on me that it changed how I viewed myself and viewed how I managed projects forever. So the thing that I was discussing during this coaching session was how I could start to get out of the office a bit sooner, how I could work smarter. And actually I had an aha moment. I realized that I had a choice. I realized that project management wasn't inherently stressful. Up to that point, I thought, well, you're in this, you're in it or you're out, you know, you have to take it the way it is. But I really realized that there was more effective way for me to be working. So the impact of this one coaching session on me actually meant that I started to study coaching myself. I thought, this is too powerful. I have to understand what's going on here. And the other thing it meant, was, of course, was that I started personally on my projects as a manager and as a leader to investigate, well, what is it? How can I become more effective? How can I increase not only my success rate, but also my personal well-being? And they are the strategies that I'm actually going to be sharing with you today. Becoming a coach and studying leadership techniques actually gave me an angle into the first book I wrote, which is the Project Management Coaching Workbook. As many people, I always wanted to write a project management book, but there are so many of them out there. But coaching really gave me an angle into it. So the way that this book is different to other project management books out there is that it coaches you, it guides you through a step-by-step process how you can become a better project manager and a leader. It doesn't just tell you how to do things. It actually uncovers your vision, your strengths, and looks at where you personally need to improve in order to become more successful at what you do. So if you are passionate about what you do, if you want to get better, if you want to study, because this is a workbook, I have to warn you, then check out this book, of course, also if you enjoy the webinar today. But actually, I'm not going to talk anymore about the book, because that's not what we're here for. I'm also not going to talk anymore about myself. I want to move straight on to the strategies that can help you to become more successful. So the things that we are going to cover are the concept of project leadership. What is it? Why is it so powerful? And how is it different to project management? And then I will share with you the VIP model, which is really a model for how you can become better project leaders. So that sets out in very broad terms the agenda for today. So first of all, I would like to take some time to talk you through the differences between management and leadership. And of course, we have very little time on this call, so what I'm going to be sharing with you is, of course, a huge generalization, so please bear with me on that one. Now, you'll see management described here on the left-hand side. Management is very task-oriented. It's very skills-based. It's about events and processes. So as project managers, we spend time calculating duration and estimating effort. They're all very rational things, and we put together a plan. And it's based on methods and calculations. And the way that we relate to our team is really one of authority. So quite often we will tell people on our team what to do, because at the end of the day, they're being paid for being there and they get a salary for it. So, we could refer to that as a push approach. We're telling people what to do and we expect them to do it, mainly because they get a salary. Again, huge generalization here. Leadership, on the other hand, is quite different. Leadership is much more about attitude and behavior, and instead of just it being rational, it's really about people. It's much more people-centric, and we can't rely on our logic for being a leader. Leaders are often very visionary, and they're inspirational, and they look at how they can motivate a team to follow. So the way that leaders typically relate to their team is they don't go out and tell people what to do. They simply appeal to them at a much deeper level. They find out what motivates each individual person to follow, and then they paint a very appealing picture of a vision so that the team members actually feel compelled to following that vision. So we could also refer to that as a pull approach. So